Welcome to Candid Conversations with Candidates, brought to you by Crowing Power in partnership with Lakes Media Collaborative and the Brainerd Lakes Chamber. I'm Lisa Paxton, and it's my pleasure to welcome Bob Olson, who's a candidate for Brainerd City Council Alderman at Large. Welcome, Bob.
Welcome to you, Lisa.
Thank you. It's good to see you, and we're going to open with your opening comments.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I moved to Brainerd in 1971 with my family, and I opened Hardware Inc. I have been a small business owner for over 40 years. I retired in 1990. I have served in the Brainerd City Council from 1975 through 1977. I have been a trustee of the St. Francis Catholic Church. I was the volunteer manager of the Brainerd Area Civic Center for over 18 years. In 1989 and through 1990, I served as a Brainerd mayor, and I'm a member of the American Legion, the VFW Club, and it's been a real pleasure to have serve you citizens. I was elected to the council in 2001, and it's been very enjoyable. Thank you very much for listening to this interview.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Let's roll on to some questions.
Ready?
All right. What is your top priority if elected?
Well, I really have two. I think we need to control expenditures in our city government, and we need to work with the private sector to increase our job base or job growth. And in order to do that, I feel that job growth, any sizable amount, will come from the private sector. But we, as elected officials, must be very active by keeping the tax base as low as we possibly can. Regulation should be at minimum, and the fees that we want to charge should be very cautiously approached to make it a viable environment for new business to locate in Brainerd. It's a two-way street to have growth. It's the government sector providing what I said, and then to work very closely with our private sector to tell them that Brainerd is the place to be with our wonderful city, our wonderful area. We have wonderful schools, wonderful medical facilities. Our parks are great. I personally think we as elected officials have to do a better job of selling Brainerd for job growth. Okay.
So there are other candidates running for this position. Give me three characteristics that distinguish you from other candidates.
Well, I will just speak for myself. I always research issues. I definitely do my homework. I do speak out in issues. I'm one council member that feels that we must be accountable to the citizens, and we must hold our staff accountable.
Okay. So you touched on a variety of things when you talked about your priorities. Let's talk about your budget priorities. What are your budget priorities, and how will you pay for them?
Our budget priorities are you talking about the 2013 budget, or are you talking about budget overall?
We're looking to the future.
Well, we have to be very careful to keep our tax levy at the lowest balance as we possibly can, and we know that there will be certain expenditures, the cost of living, et cetera, will increase. So what I'm saying, and I am an advocate of this, we must spend our expenditures on the needs of the citizens and not on the wants of the politicians.
Okay. What do you think are the needs, Bob?
Well, the needs, naturally, we always need infrastructure improvements. We need good police, but we need wonderful police protection, fire protection, and we do need recreational facilities. But I would say that the needs of the citizens are what can they afford? What do they want to have their taxes increased for? It is not an easy job to keep taxes low, but we need to do it. I've been in the private sector for over 40 years. I know what it is to meet payroll. In order to meet payroll, we need to cut expenditures. One thing that I would look at is our staff. I personally feel that we can eliminate staff and still take care of the needs of our citizens.
Okay. You touched on the importance of having working with the private sector for job growth and other pieces. How will you make sure that the city of Brainerd is business friendly?
I can only speak for myself, and I'll do everything I can to make the city of Brainerd business friendly. I've heard they're not. I don't buy that situation. I think that's a factor that is not true. Now, just for example, last night we could be called not friendly to business because, or I could, but there was a development that wanted to come in West Brainerd, but was right near a residential area. The residents were there long before this business came, so I didn't support having the business there because and that isn't business friendly. I feel that is citizen friendly. They were there long before the business.
Okay. What community partners will you work with if elected, Bob?
What community partners? Would you be more specific and tell me what you mean?
I think, what's your perspective on working with others outside of the city to do the work?
We right now we're working very closely with Bladak. I think we give them close to $70,000 a year. You as the chamber exec, you've been to our meetings. I think we've given you an opportunity to voice your views, and I don't think you've been around for a long time, and I don't think you can criticize us for not wanting to work with you, and then we'll continue to do that, Lisa. All right, Lisa.
That's good. Anything else on that line that you
I don't. Definitely we need job growth, but so does every other city. So we have to do a better job of selling our environment, our city.
Okay, great. Well, that concludes our formal questions. Anything else you want to share?
No, I'll just say that again, it's been a real pleasure and an honor to represent you citizens since 2001. And I will continue to speak out and represent you citizens if you re-elect me to the best of my ability. That is my main goal in being a council representative, is to represent you citizens. Be the voice of you citizens. And I do feel that I have been that. And I will continue to do that, citizens. And please remember to vote. And I would really appreciate your vote. Thank you so very much.
Okay, Bob, thank you for joining us, and thank you all for joining us for a part of Candid Conversations with Candidates here with Bob Olson, with Brainerd City Council candidate. Please visit us online at votebrainerdlakes.com to view this and other interviews. Thank you.